tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show. The tailgate show. The tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show. The tailgate show. The tailgate show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Tailgate Show. We got a, what do you call it, Jared? Three
agency frenzy, baby.
I was just going to say free
We
agent.
went deep. Well,
Yeah, man.
you know, but we're the Bears.
So
Not
We
one,
only count
not
three.
two.
let's talk about
three.
what we lost. Okay.
Who are you?
Yep.
You're B Queen 34, right?
You guys done counting? All right. So I want to talk about the guys we lost first. Got Matt, Cohen, Grant, Nichols, Daniels, Bars, Trevathan, Hicks, Robinson. It's definitely a change.
Robinson's not gone yet.
Yeah, Jared, what are you talking about?
He could come back.
He's a free agent, Jared. He's gone. Wow, okay. Anyway, so
I mean, technically, he's not. There is a possibility he could come back. I think it's very slim to none, but it's
He's
possible.
We just want to go right into that talk.
what, A-Rob?
Let's go. Well, we'll just jump on A-Rob real quick, since we're already there talking about him.
Go for it. Let me know when you're done.
As he hits the mute button, and he left.
And he's walked away.
Well,
My
A-Rob,
God.
man.
Hey, he's doing an A-Rob impersonation. He's disappearing.
There you go.
Very good.
Well, there's still a path for him to come back if you wanted to. What's the number that you would have to be at for you?
Far lower than what he's probably going to get. I'd say 8 to 10 mil on a 1-year deal. But like we were just talking about earlier, A, he's probably going to get more, and B, why the hell would he want to take a 1-year deal here to resurrect to get that next big payday?
Well, I was telling you, I was listening to NFL radio on the way home. They're doing their free agent special too right now. I mean, obviously they have more viewers than us, but Adam Camplin mentioned
It's close. It's close though. It's close.
it is closer than you might think.
Real close.
Closer than you might think.
We done yet?
But not yet. Adam Kaplan mentioned that he talked to certain people within the Bears organization. They were willing to move him into strictly the slot position if they had a guy that could take over that outside role. Now, what kind of money does that garner? I don't know. I mean, I think you saw the market get completely shit on by Jacksonville. I mean, I don't think he's not getting the 18 million. I don't see. I mean, can you get him at 10?
No. And if you're going to you're not getting him back here on a prove it deal. He would have to go to a contender or somebody that's going to really blow up his stats in order to take a prove it deal. He's not taking $10 million here. There's no freaking way.
I'm prone to agree with that logic.
He's not. Yeah, the whole Jacksonville thing actually just put everything on pause because they're like, "Fuck that." I think the league's just like, "We're gonna let this settle for a little bit, man." Like that's insane. You got a draft class so stacked at receiver. Like, why everybody's just like, let's let that ride out and die out for a little bit because that's complete bullshit. What Jacksonville did, we're not gonna react to that. I think the rest of the league was just like, that's just insane. Let's hit the pause button on receivers for a little bit. Let everything cool down a little bit because that's just gonna lead to fucking chaos, man. Like that was just what they're doing down there. I don't get it. Kirk, what the?
That's insane.
It's so desperate. He's a talented dude, but my God, man, like I think I thought he was gonna go to. I thought A-Rob was gonna go to Detroit. That kind of fell through.
And Detroit scooped up Chark, I think, on a 1-year deal, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough sledding for A-Rob as far as what he wanted from us. I mean, Bill Belichick's not freaking. You can go to New England, but you're gonna, you know what I mean, you're not gonna get blown out of the water with the contract. I mean, he might. I think.
Oh no! Last offseason, they spent quite a bit of money.
Yeah, but
I think their approach this offseason is a little bit different, though.
Yeah, I mean, A-Rob's probably going to fall in I'd say 16 mil 14,
You think-
16.
I think he gets that much.
I don't know. I mean, that's just my thinking of it. Who knows? But I don't know.
3 for 45.
Possibly. Yeah.
That's a number.
Yeah. But I don't think he's coming back here. I mean, what did I guess I'll throw this to you guys. What did we see that would make you want to bring him back that helped Justin out? I didn't really see much, like personally.
I think he could still be that release valve, the guy in the middle that you can just throw it to, and he should be open by most standards. I think that's a possibility for him. If you throw speed on both sides of him that can run routes opposite Mooney, he can still do the drag routes across the middle of the field too really well. I mean, you were talking last week about a guy in Cleveland that's a free agent. What's the difference between those two players?
Between who?
Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry will block a motherfucker. I think he's better in the slot.
Create separation, sure hands.
A lot more aggressive.
There was a time that Allen Robinson was that too.
Was.
Mm-mm.
He had an off year last year. Let's not.
Well, no, that's true. No, it wasn't all of his fault last year. I mean, I think part of it was the scheme. It was the static routes, but there were still a lot of 50-50 balls that he did not come away with last year.
We didn't see the guy that we thought we could tap into what he did in Jacksonville. What was it, 14 or 15? He had that 1,400 reception, the 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns. He never hit double digits here, man. Like he was,
I think 9, right? Was
I guess he reminded me of Marty Booker, which is fine, right? Possession receiver. I think Marty actually, in some ways, was a little more reliable, right? Especially like.
Had a better attitude too.
Yeah, but like the money he wants to be a one. He's just, I don't know. I don't know if he has the being a one in him. Like he's not. I don't know.
He's not an alpha. Let's just be real. Call it how it is. He's not an alpha.
No, I mean, I'd like
not a one.
I'd like to see Juju here for a slot if he's healthy. Like I think he'd be a good veteran slot receiver for Justin, reliable.
I guess I'd ask you the same question you just asked us about A-Rob with Juju. What have you seen over the last 3 years that tells you he can be that guy?
That really TikTok dance, bro.
Yeah, I think we can get him in here for like 7 or 8 mil on a prove it deal. He's the kind of guy you could bring in on a prove it deal.
If it's a 1 year type of deal, I'm not gonna totally poo-poo that. I mean, I wouldn't want to lock in long term with him though.
I just don't think you should jump on A-Rob just because of, I mean, it's kind of, what do you have? You have Odell left, you have Watkins, AJ Green, Pringle.
Let's talk about the big one that was released today. A guy who's been often injured, but maybe he's looking for a 1 year prove it deal. Julio Jones.
No.
Julio!
I don't know, man. I still think he has some left in the tank.
He's fast.
I don't think he's at the point in his career though. I think he's going to want to go to a competitor.
Well, you guys were talking about Tyrann Mathieu in the thread. Wasn't that the same? Isn't that the same guy though? He's 29, right?
Who, Tyrann or Julio?
The Honey Badger.
Yeah, 29 sounds right.
I mean, isn't that at the point where you're chasing ranks? He did get the one with Kansas City, correct?
Yeah.
Was he part of that team?
I think he was.
Yeah,
he was injured. I think he got hurt. So, I mean, why wouldn't Julio? I mean, why not Julio? Maybe that's the question.
I mean, Julio's he is 33. I mean, he's probably looking for one last payday.
Right up the Bears' alley.
Well, I mean, is it though?
You think
I mean, Poles really hasn't been on a spending spree.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing I will.
Historically speaking, yes, true.
The one thing I will say about Poles is he's a man of his word. I mean, we're all getting frustrated that these moves aren't happening as quick, and the positions that we want to see filled haven't been. But like he flat out told us what his approach was going to be, and he stuck to it. It's not like Pace where he says we're going to be conservative, and then bang, 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 bang.
Except for one guy, Except for one guy that they went and spent some money on.
No, that's not that much money, Jared. You factor it all in.
But it's a first day signing.
Yeah, but he's not he wasn't the top of the list free agent. It was a first day signing at like a second tier level.
He got decent money, but I think it was. I don't think it was an
Who are we
overpay like
talking
some
about,
other
by the
people
way?
have said.
What was it?
Larry
10
O.
Larry Ogunjobi, right?
Yeah, it's 10 mil per.
You're welcome.
Right?
Yeah,
Rob?
I think it was about 11. I do believe 11.5. But
Okay.
still, I mean, 3 technique is that and the Will Backer are probably the 2 most important positions in this defense. I don't think it's an
Absolutely.
overpay at all. I'm
Me either.
totally cool with it.
But he has a hurt foot, Biscotti.
Yeah,
He hurt his
he's
foot.
coming off a hurt foot.
God, I can't imagine. Nobody's ever set franchise records after a hurt foot. Oh, wait. Robert Quinn.
So
Who's still
Biscuits,
here, by the way? Hit me
So
with it.
he was your guy to kind of take a look in, dive into some tape. What did you see from our new guy
So
Larry?
the first thing I watched was an old draft profile video that the Browns had put out right after they took him in the 3rd round. So Larry did not start playing football. Why are you full screening me? Why are you doing this?
Because
Get me the fuck off this damn screen. Larry did not start playing football until his sophomore year of high school.
wow.
And he really didn't even want to play. Apparently, this kid was a fat ass kid, and so he admitted that in the video. So his mom hired this coach who happened to work with the football team at the high school to help him lose weight. Coach drives him up to the practice field one day, is like, "Hey, you're gonna play football," and he's like, "Nuh-uh, I am not about that." And the dude literally worked his way up. Ended up losing so much weight, the coaches got pissed at him and said he had to put back on more weight. So it seems like he embodies a lot of what Poles said he was looking for with the hard work, the toughness, the work ethic. He went to a small college in Charlotte. He was found in the 3rd round, coming off a career year, which I think he had 9 sacks last year.
Yes, he had a great year last year.
He's great with his hands, heavy hands, strong at the point of attack, gets his hands on guards before they get their hands on him. He's
That's the key.
got a really nice rip move, his second move. This 4-3 that we're going to be bringing back here, it's about what? Gap control and penetration, right? That's what we're looking for out of these tackles, these down linemen. Pause. Gap control and penetration, boys. And he didn't just exclusively play 3 technique with the Bengals. They were super creative with him and moving him around in sub packages. So he played 3 technique, 1-0. Sounds like a reverse Eddie Goldman, our boy Yakub. Yeah, reverse Eddie Goldman is right. I mean, shout out to Eddie. He was a nice player.
He had a couple of good years.
Yeah, he was a nice player there for a while. It's just towards the last 2 years, the off year and this past year, just didn't really seem like he got a motivated type of Eddie. I think this kid's 27. He's coming into his prime. He seems hungry. Seems like he's a hard worker. And I know Diddy sent me a picture of him where Diddy was getting a little hot in the pants, man.
Dude's ripped, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a healthy. He is the guy you want, explosive. Eberflus talked about it in the offseason. He said the point of the 3 technique is you have to be explosive and disciplined.
Yeah.
And strong at the point of attack. He's all of those things.
And
you got it. And you got him for the price of Eddie Goldman, who's toast. I mean, I'm sorry, that dude's washed. Akeem Hicks.
Not much more than Eddie, really.
Well, I mean, there was something that somebody put out on social media where the 3 contracts that they got rid of basically equals
equated out to
Larry.
that,
yeah, Larry Ogunjobi, and people are all pissed off about it. It's like, if Larry is who we think he is, then it's the best money you could have spent because you're getting rid of dead contracts, man.
And he's going to make Roquan look a lot better. He's going to make Morrow look a lot better, which Diddy will get into here after this. I mean,
Oh,
you need your down linemen to penetrate, fill in those gaps. That way, the linebackers can read and react and make plays. So to me, it's money well spent. Anyone saying it's an overpay? Yakub in the chat, he was going after people on Twitter, and I agree
yes.
with him. It was not an overpay at all.
Yeah, I mean this guy's versatile too. I know we're talking 3 technique, but he can play 1, he can play 0 right over the
Yep.
center,
Yep.
and I mean I saw him lighting
He can
centers.
command. He can command the line of scrimmage. He's a guy that you have to dedicate 2 guys to. You know, you're not going to block him with a Sam Mustipher by himself.
Yeah, and
Shout out to that jackass that decided to put out a fucking tweet that made no sense after he got hit by 3 guys.
as frustrating. We want to win now, and I get it, and we've been fans a long time. But like, I kind of like the way Poles is going about this, because unlike Pace, he's blowing the shit up and resetting. You know what I mean? And he has his guy at head coach, and that's not how this was when Pace first got here. It was the coach forced on him. I think that this rebuild is being done the right way. It's going to take a little while, but like, this is a guy we need in this defense. With this change going on, this is the guy they went out and got, and I don't think it was an overpay.
I don't think so either.
Not if he's healthy, and hopefully he is. That's the only. We've
Well,
dealt with that before with the injury shit. It's like
He's only missed 1 start in the last 4 years due to injury.
Right.
Pretty good.
Well,
That's everything that you wanted Akeem Hicks to be.
He went out in the playoffs, though. He missed
Did
more
he?
than 1 start. I think so.
According to my notes, yeah, he was injured in the first playoff game.
Right.
And he wound up missing the end of the Super Bowl run. But prior to that, he'd only missed 1 game in 4 years.
How does that game change if he's there? Jesus.
Yeah.
Played 58.5% of his snaps in the B gap, 27.4% of his snaps in the A gap, and 13.2 of his snaps over the tackle. So like Diddy was saying earlier, he's not just a 3 technique. You can move this guy around. He'll primarily play the 3 technique when we go 4 down, but
And this is another thing. Even though we didn't play in the Super Bowl, normally you really overpay for guys coming off a Super Bowl team.
True. Yeah.
I don't think we did that. I think the market value was pretty good for a free agent. I'm not stressing that at all.
You know why people were mad though? Because they know how important the development of Justin is, how shitty our offense is, and I think a lot of people were just mad that it wasn't an offensive player.
I think the people that were genuinely mad just don't understand what we're doing on defense.
Also fair.
I'm sorry, like you gotta understand how and that sometimes I think we lose sight of how young people are on Twitter too. Like how many
even people that are older are
no,
kind of
but
saying
some of the people we interact with don't remember Lovey's cover too.
Nope.
Now my only concern, like I think we went to
fair.
The only my only issue with this organization is like I think we switched to a 3-4 way too late. Like the 3-4 was already such a thing, and finally we're here, right? Cover 2 started coming back, and now we're finally going back to it. It's like we miss the trend sometimes, but I hope it all works, because I kind of see what they're trying to do here with these moves. That they're not like they're being responsible. We kind of need that to rebuild this.
They're making sensible decisions. I have to say that they're getting young guys on upside. You know, Larry O's what, 20, you said 26, 27?
27.
You've got potentially 4 to 5 years if you can keep him under contract and he produces. I mean, that's productive. I mean, you can get him to 31. If you can get him to that same age as Akeem Hicks, you're doing pretty damn good.
Yeah. I haven't done a deep dive into the draft yet, but I was reading, I think it was Matt Miller, I believe, with NFL Scout, was saying that this draft is really weak for 3 techniques, and what is it strong in and deep in? It's wide receiver and offensive line and corner. So I think it makes sense to attack that position now and sort of bypass some of these wide receivers that we covered on the last pod, who have seemingly all now been signed for way more money than what we expected. I think it was a smart signing. I think it's going to be. I don't think we're going to look back and say that was a bad move by Poles.
No, not at all, man. I'm happy with it, especially watching the film breakdown on him. I think
Yeah.
this guy, he has a lot of potential, man. I don't think I mean, he may never be an all pro or whatever, but he's going to be a solid contributor on this team, and that's what we need.
Yeah.
The biggest knock against him is the missed tackles. He was tied in the league this year for the highest missed tackle rate. But again, when you're shooting the gap and you're penetrating, there's going to be some missed tackles there, trying to overcommit.
Absolutely.
I agree. So, Jared, you wanted to take on Lucas Patrick.
Yeah, we're still on defense, though. Let's hit you up there, Big Hoss. We'll go offensive.
Oh, okay. Let's just change up the whole flow of the flow.
That's right. That's what I do. I'm here to fuck shit up. Thank you. You're welcome.
Nicholas Morrow. He didn't play last year. We got him from the Raiders, linebacker. I'm not going to go there comparing him to anybody, but he was a strong safety in college. And he played Division III. So again, Biscuits, going back to what you said, these are guys that coming out of like very small schools that have like just fought to get where they're at. Like he was an undrafted rookie out of Division III, and I believe it was Illinois. I think where college was it? Greenville, Illinois. It was a Division III school, and Raiders took him in, and he has, if you watch tape on him or highlights or whatever your go-to is, he has a ball hawk mentality. He played, I think in 2020 he played 11 games. He had like 9 deflections in those 11 games, 3 interceptions, 78 combined tackles, 3 sacks. He's a difference maker. I'm not saying that like and again, he's coming off injury too. So, but these are guys that have something to prove, and that's kind of what Poles was saying he wanted to do. I really like this kid's attributes. I like he can diagnose shit. Like if you watch him, he's a smart ball player, man, and he's got that safety mentality. But he can also stick a dude. Like his timing on tackling, knocking balls out, like I mean, tight ends come over the middle. He's hitting you right when the ball gets there. He's very instinctual. Very fast, sideline to sideline speed. I really like the kid. I'm going to be interested to see. He might just be a depth piece, but I could even see him being the middle linebacker, to be honest.
That's a good point that you brought up. I think he can play both. He could play the Will or the Mike, and that kind of gives us that flexibility.
Well, if he's got this, how tall is he?
I don't have his measure. I think I want to say he's like 6'1" or 2'2".
Stats and gravy. He is 6 foot 0 inches.
Okay.
6 foot 225.
So Roquan's what?
Is he 225? So that's 5 pounds heavier than college.
Yeah, Quan's 6'1".
Okay, so the reason I ask is because the cover 2 height covering across the middle. That's why he covers across the middle. I mean,
a
bigger guy
some of your best middle linebackers, though, carrying the tight ends down the seam are in that 6 to 6'1" range. I mean, Urlacher was sort of a unicorn in terms of his height.
But I mean, from what I've seen of him, and I know what he wasn't in last year, but like from his play on the field, like if he comes back healthy, I really like him.
Right on.
So you got to put up Yakub's last comment in the chat. Sorry, Diddy. That just
Urlacher?
No, the last one.
Oh my God, production.
Good Lord,
I don't see it.
Okay, let me just go ahead and read it to you all. Production value.
Tight end comes out, he knocks out the ball.
And Jared just killed the delivery on that.
No, it's on my end. My shit's slow. Sorry.
On that Methernet.
Methernet having a rough day today. It's seen better days than days.
I mean, the kid plays the run well, plays the pass well. I think he's gonna be a nice addition, especially next to Quan. He's a disruptive presence, and a lot of Raiders fans had a lot of good shit to say about him. They were kind of pissed that he left.
That seems to be a theme, you know. I mean,
and
that's what I got
Raiders
with
fans, because they were cool as hell with the Bears fans. They were like, yeah, he's really, like, it wasn't like a vengeful thing that, they were cool about it. They explained a lot of stuff. So
it just showed up on my end. I swear to God, I don't know what's going on with this fucking thing.
I mean, you are in Indiana, so we'll give you a break.
Easy, killer.
But no, I agree with all your points, Diddy. I think you nailed everything. The instinctual. I do think it's going to be nice. Flexibility, I think, is the big thing. He can play both of those positions. So now you're not strictly Stick and Quan at the mic or the wheel, you can kind of move those guys around.
I was hoping Miles Jack would land here, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
God, man, like that was a guy. I'm like, when they released him, I'm like, oh shit. And of course, Pittsburgh just snags him. Just said, let's add him to our squad.
Right.
To go play
That's
with
the way that works.
Yeah, he wanted to go.
He said, "Yeah, Mitch is there. Sign me up."
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. We got to change your name on Twitter, there, bud.
Everybody calls me Biscuits. I feel like I'm too invested now to change it.
Brady's battered biscuits.
Salty biscuits and gravy.
Can I take my victory lap here real quick?
Oh fuck yeah!
No, we'll do that. Do that later. We'll do that later.
You're lucky. I was about to channel some inner Bradiness.
Yeah, no,
all right.
Good,
now to the meat and potatoes of this conversation.
Yes, Lucas Patrick, Jer.
Lucas Patrick. I like him. He's got some nasty in him. Big kid. Was he 6'4", 6'5", 315? Athletic. Gets to the second level a lot. I really like how his feet move. One thing I did watch, if you guys want to watch a good reel of him and you want to feel good about the Bears at the same time, watch the 2018 week 17 game. Was it 17 where they beat the Packers to win the division?
Yeah.
I think it was. He had a good game. And you get to watch the Bears win. So, it's been a long time. He had Hicks over him a few times, and he did really well at guard. That was at guard.
I was about to ask you, was he playing center or guard? Okay,
he was playing guard.
Do you think he's better off at center, or do you think he's better off at guard?
My personal feeling is I want him at center.
No,
but the way the roster is right now, I have this eerie feeling they're going to stick Mustafa at center again, and then I'm telling you, roll him at guard, which that's not a bad thing for him. He played it well. He had a lot of one-on-ones with Hicks and did really well. I thought there was times where he got bowled over, of course. And then the one thing I will say that I saw on the tape of the videos that I've seen, he's not in Green Bay anymore. So those hands are going to have to come in. Sometimes he likes to wrap and get on the outside of the shoulder pads, and he's got to come on the inside. So
you're saying he's not going to get as favorable of calls?
Let's just call it what it is, man. I don't think that's an unfair statement. He doesn't have a Hall of Fame quarterback behind him, where maybe they're paying a little bit more attention to Aaron than they are to the lineman.
Yeah.
So. But all in all, you talked about Morrow and the fans really giving him a lot of good praise and pub. That's the one thing that I've noticed too, Packer fans out here. I had contacted one of our friends that's been on the show, Dusty Evely from Cheesehead TV.
Do you want me to read it, Jared? Or do you want to?
You read it, because I'm terrible at reading.
My brother's a Packers fan. He texted me immediately. He's like, "Damn, you guys got a good one. Like, we wanted to keep him, but
consistent piece.
Yeah,
he's a consistent piece.
He's the second longest tenured member of that O-line, just behind David Bakhtiari. He's been there a minute.
I think we're going to have Dusty on at some point in the offseason to talk about what's going on in Green Bay, because there's a lot going on up there. But go ahead, Brian, read what.
We'll definitely have him on for when we play the Packers. He's actually like the one Packer fan that I like.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
He does a lot of shit for Cheesehead TV, but he's actually he's a laid back dude. He's like, you can just talk ball with him, and it's not all. You don't want to resort to violence. You know what I mean?
No.
Basically, what he said, you'd be hard pressed to find anyone who doesn't love Lucas Patrick. He's not really great at anything, but he's also not terrible at anything. Better in pass pro than in run blocking, but not by a huge margin. Versatile on the inside, can play center or either of the guard positions. He's not going to blow you away, but he's competent at all three positions and can step in at any moment's notice. And Sorry about that. It kind of skipped on me. I'd say from a play perspective, he hovers right around average. Every now and then, someone will just completely destroy him, but he's usually in the mix. And this part right here is
This
the most,
part is the
this,
one.
This is the
Yes.
most important piece. One of the best things about him, especially having a young QB, is how quickly he's there to have your back. Late hit on the QB, Patrick is the first one there to help him up and start some shit. Nothing dirty, but just letting you know he's there. A good friend of mine may be the only person I know with a Lucas Patrick jersey for that fact alone, and that's the nasty we need on the line, man. You want that dude that's gonna have. We witnessed it.
Oh, and Poles said it himself.
Well,
You know,
Jenkins
that
has that
rubbed him
in
the
him
wrong
too.
way.
Jenkins has that in him too.
Yeah.
You don't take that out of a guy. You know what I mean? So this is that dude that will get. He's got his QB's back. So I mean, we need
That whole
offensive
thing
linemen,
wasn't
man.
very encouraging until you got to that end piece. You know, not great at anything,
Well,
not horrible at anything, average. I
Dude,
mean,
we would take now. Remember, it's Green Bay average. Imagine Bears average and Green Bay average is different, bro.
Yeah, so like he played.
also true.
No, he played a lot on for 2 years straight on teams that went 13-3.
Yeah.
And he wasn't a guy. You know how you know he's good. You don't know his name. You know, he just shows up, gets his job done. He's not getting flagged all the time. He's not the problem like Sam Mustard.
4 penalties and about 2,500 snaps. That's
Yep.
pretty damn good.
And
It's a guy getting it done.
I saw stuff with him 23 yards down the field, still blocking.
That's with him at his center. And guess who he's blocking? That is a 4-time Pro Bowler. That's Anthony Barr from Minnesota, where he takes him and he rides him, and then he turns him with his offhand and pancakes him to finish that. That's nasty, boy. That's nasty. That's what you want. That's what this offensive line is. And it just goes to show how much Poles, I think, disliked the current offensive line.
Oh,
He just
Yeah.
didn't like him, man. And this showed. James Daniels, bye.
Yeah. That's why I was a little surprised that they signed a guy of. I mean, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's also not the smallest. Just based on what Poles was saying at the combine, it just seemed like they wanted a more quicker offensive line as opposed to hard, big-bodied Poles. But like Diddy was saying in the chat, he's like, you know, this dude's quick for his size.
Yeah, he's got good feet. He's got good feet.
He's a guy that you can pull. I personally would like to see him at center. Mustapher cannot be your center moving forward. There's just absolutely no way. I mean, Poles knows more.
I
than
think
him.
there's a
If he
chance,
sticks in
bro.
that center. Hey, you know, I'm not going to argue with the guy, but to me, ain't no fucking way you can run Mustapher back out there. But I think what would be more valuable to a young quarterback in Justin would be sticking a Lucas Patrick at center where he has extensive playing time and he knows the offense. I think that could be huge for Justin right there. What does he
The
keep saying?
chat's going off.
no, he's just like Jared was like rising for 15 yards. It's just yeah.
Needs smart nasty, not dirty nasty.
Jared keeps
Rides him for 15 yards.
Yeah. And then Biscuit's talking about he's a guy you can pull. Just getting very.
Lineman talk's kind of dirty.
We haven't even
That's
gotten to the power bottom talk yet, man.
No, he's power bottom.
Or
You
the
don't want nothing.
penetration. No, man. I mean,
It's a value signing too. Not big.
Yeah, it
money.
is. Young, too. I mean, you see some of these guards right now at 31, 32, 33 still getting contracts because they can still play. If you hit on this guy, you might have a guy for another 6 years.
Yeah.
when you don't overspend, you have the guy has a better chance of meeting the
And what-
expectation.
And what a time not to overspend.
Without
What a time
crippling
not to
your
put-
future flexibility either, you know,
Yeah.
which
Well,
Pace consistently did.
That's kind of what he did too, because of the cap space we'll have next year. You have the room to be able to move things and clear up cap space. If a situation comes up where you want to overspend, you have that flexibility now. He's been impressive. It's just not flashy. So we have to be patient, man. Like it's going to be a patient rebuild. He's kind of put that.
He said it.
It's a
He said
reset.
he wants to build through the draft.
But
Yeah.
you got to kind of look past this year. We're pretty healthy with the cap situation going forward. I mean, yeah, we have a lot of spots to fill. I think there's only 18 guys signed with that money freed up, but it's gonna. I'm looking forward to seeing how this all plays out, man. Like I wanted a complete reset. As much as it sucks to see Mac in another jersey, I get all that, but like we're getting kind of what we wanted. We
Yeah.
wanted somebody that came in here with a vision and put it forward, man. And this dude's done it very quickly. This is his vision for the team. He has no ties to anybody. This is exactly what we talked about last season. This is what we wanted, somebody to come in here, not be emotionally attached to anybody, make the moves, be a football guy, and make the moves, come in here and do his thing. And he's been doing it. And we need to see how it plays out. I'm not sitting here putting him on a pedestal or anything, but
At least he's not scared to carry his vision out. But the easier decision would have been to keep Mac and roll status quo and try and build around it. So I as much as I don't like the move, I applaud him for seeing out what he thinks the true vision of this team should be and how it should be built.
A lot of winning organizations, this is what they do. They don't get impatient.
Yeah, maybe we're just not used to that.
That's what it is. It's like in the past, if they could put somebody that would sell jerseys on the team, they'll do it. You know what I mean? Like they'll put that big name out, get that big name to get us all excited. He's building the team the way he wants to do it. We got to give him that chance to see how it plays out. If anything, he's setting himself up better for long-term success because he's gonna do it his way. He's not going to be booted out of here. He's not going to be booted out of here for making irrational decisions. He wants this thing he wants to be here. You know what I mean? Like I kind of like it. It's refreshing to see somebody come in, reset, and bring his guys in the way he's pushing his vision forward. And I'm kind of really excited to see how it all plays out.
And it's not like any of the guys that have signed other places, I think were, I would say, huge losses to us. Really, there was only two guys that I think he did not sign, but they stayed with their original teams that I would have liked to have seen here. And that was the two centers, Ben Jones, who stayed in Tennessee, and Jensen, who stayed in Tampa. So, I mean, realistically, what kind of shot
Tom
do we really
Brady
have
can
to
eat
find
a
those
dick on
guys?
that. I know you're going to into the whole tribe about how you love Tom Brady.
Bro.
Fuck that guy for that reason.
Okay. Enough. I mean, you keep going back to that well. Why do you, like, Jay? Are you into him?
Oh, he's into him.
Who?
Oh man,
Jensen.
Tom.
Well, he screwed up.
So,
Screwed up the fucking free agency.
We still have that dude from Cleveland is available at center now, right?
That is
Did
true.
He signed yet?
I don't believe.
No, he has not been signed yet.
And Bozeman's still on the market.
Bozeman still on the market as well.
That can change quick.
No, you can.
Can you really thumb your nose up to Bozeman when you've sat there and watched Sam Mustipher for a year and a half?
No, and he played with a very mobile QB. In a heartbeat. That's an Alabama dude too. Yeah, I'd be all over that.
Be an upgrade, and clearly he's not going to get as big of money as we all thought he would.
Yeah, an upgrade.
And Patrick together would be a pretty good thing.
Be an upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
Be better than probably what we've seen here in a long time.
And disclaimer, I was wrong about James Daniels. I was steadfast for months and months and months. Let me just go ahead and eat my crow now. That I thought he would get $10 million per year, and he only got 8.5. So shout out Diddy. There's your victory lap, my friend.
I don't even want to take it.
I'll thank you tomorrow.
No, it's all right. The the late breaking news here, actually.
What?
Stop.
Man, he's fucking with us.
Yeah, I got nothing. Just wanted to refresh Twitter.
Fuck.
That's what I was trying.
Foles is going to do something when we're all sleeping.
And Yakub in the chat sums it up really nicely. He says, Bears fans have been used to the flashy moves over the last 5 years. The change of pace, pun intended, has people bugging. Yeah, I agree. I think we were used to a super aggressive GM going after the splashy names, and that's not always the best course of action.
Poles brought his assistant GM in from Philly, and the league came out and had to change the rules. Like, this guy's already making rule changes from his impact, so you can't hire executives till after the draft or something like that. Is that was out there?
Yeah.
But he got his guy, and they Philly must have been pretty pissed about it.
Apparently shacking up together too.
Yeah, hey, whatever works, man. Step brothers, that's cool. Party on, bro.
Crazy,
Well,
man.
the nice thing is he has somebody to check him, and vice versa. Like, they could throw shit off each other, and it's somebody he obviously has a lot of respect for. I like the structure, how he set it up. He's the GM. Yeah. He's got his assistant. He's setting. We talked about this too. He knows he has to be the football guy here.
Yeah,
and he's setting himself up for success. Hopefully, I'm excited, man.
Well, he said too that he wasn't used to getting pulled in all these different directions that he is now. So it's nice having, Ian there where he can take the lead on some things if he's getting pulled in another direction. It's a front office change that we've never had. I think we all kind of wanted that team president or president of football ops, and maybe it's not that same type of layer, but it is another layer of accountability to, like you said, bounce things off of somebody, checks and balances. Make sure you're not going rogue after one guy. Ian, what do you think about this guy? Yeah. I like it. Remains to be seen how it'll play out, but in terms of the structure, it's different. And why not try different? Because what we've been doing for the last 30 years just hasn't worked.
Right, and I'm not saying all these guys are going to be hits, but we're just kind of picking out the things that we see. We're trying to see through that Poles perspective, I guess, if you will. Yeah. Just trying to get to what he was seeing in these guys, and there's a lot of things to like. Hopefully everything's a hit, right? But the chances are,
we already know that's not
the case. But I'd still like to see some receivers. A receiver at least.
I was just actually looking at that. It looks like the Bears are solidly linked to Juju and MVS. So that they've shown interest in those two players. I don't know if they've showed interest in both of them together as a unit or
what about Pringle?
Pringle also on that list from CBS. So there's 3 names.
I don't know if Byron Pringle does anything for me.
No, but we need. We got.
Once you pop, you can't stop, bro.
You need depth.
Yeah, I guess.
And you guys need an opportunity to shine too.
It just sucks because, again, it's like I feel like having that big-time wide receiver for Justin to lean on in his second year just kind of provides him a certain margin for error as he develops and works through typical mistakes that you're going to see out of a second-year guy. And let's say we do sign like a Byron Pringle and maybe an MVS. Then you're relying on probably 2 rookies that you're filling in with Mooney. Maybe if you're better up front, it makes the wide receivers look a little bit better. It would just be nice to get that big time guy. And that's why I keep going back to a guy like Julio. If he's willing to come here, man, it would just be really hard for a 1-year flyer, at least for Justin's development, to not be on board with that.
All right. So who do you think last year was his go-to guy?
Who? Fields? Well, clearly Mooney.
With other teams.
Mooney might not be the one we want right now, but he could be the one that we have.
He'll be a 1 in terms of target share, but he's not a
right. So then you bring.
What's your idea of a 1? Let's get to that base question. What's your idea of a number 1 receiver?
A guy that can literally take over a game, and a guy that defensive coordinators have to literally cater their entire game plan around.
You have to double team at times.
I don't think Mooney's that guy. I love Darnell Mooney. I do.
I think the more talent you bring in, the more capable he is of being that guy. If you don't have to laser focus on him, he's going to be a high receiver too. But in this situation, you don't necessarily need a 1 all the time either. you get a
True. If your
group of guys
quarterback
that's
is more
really good.
established, though, that I
Right.
think it's just where Justin's at in his development. Is
I
why I'm
think he
so
just needs
hungry for that.
a safety valve, and I think he can have that in Mooney. We got to see where Komet's at. We got Horsted needs to be a thing.
That I would like to see. I think Jesper
There was a
Horsted could be a
connection
thing.
there. I'm not a safety valve. Yes, I think if our offensive line can actually block for a screen game, Monty can be a bailout too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think Monty has a forte skill set. He does. It's just our screen blocking has been freaking brutal. Like
that is one thing that you're going to get with a Packers lineman. They're going to know how to fucking screen block. Lucas Patrick can get his ass out there and get in front of a running back on a screen and not be an illegal man downfield.
I hope there's some names on the board when we pick, man.
I mean, how would you feel if the Bears went out and got, let's say, Jarvis Landry, and they went in to next season with Mooney, Jarvis Landry, and let's say like a David Bell from Purdue. I'm just talking like the top three. Well, David Bell's sort of that bigger guy, right?
Yeah.
Like you sort of want a bigger guy to balance smaller guys than Mooney, and you don't want three just super short guys.
He doesn't pose
ideally.
He doesn't pose like a separation threat, but
okay, so
he's solid.
Insert another big time, 6'3", 6'4" wide receiver with a Landry and a Mooney. How would you feel about that? A rookie, big guy with those two.
Go with it. You know who you want to pick.
Who?
From North Dakota State.
Watson. I do like him. There is some knocks on guys that are tall and slim, but yeah, I mean, from what you see, there's a lot to like there. Yeah. He can win 50-50 balls. He can burn dudes. He was fast, man. He was a lot faster than I thought.
He's consistently fast, too.
Yakub in the chat, George Pickens. That seems to be a hot name amongst Bears Twitter.
Yeah, and I don't like to blame schools, but God, man, we haven't had very good history with Georgia receivers. But
yeah, we're kind of 0 for 3.
If we were drafting slap boxers, we would have.
But the Georgia...
He's 6'3".
Georgia plays way better competition. I do like him.
Fast is fast, though. You know what I'm saying? Big is big.
Yeah.
Can he catch the 50-50 ball? Yeah, I'd say.
Oh, both of those guys can. Pickens, I wouldn't be mad about at all. I think he's I'd rather have him than Bell all day. Like,
I agree.
But, so again, if we went out and signed a Jarvis Landry and you paired him with Mooney and a 6'3", 6'4" rookie wide receiver in the draft, how would you all feel about that in year 2 for Justin?
Knowing the tight end class that we have that's here, and if you're planning on getting more out of it, I guess I could live with it. Not thrilled, but
I mean, from all accounts, what Getsy's saying, how he wants to build this is going to be depending on. It's going to be to the strength of the players. If we really need to focus on the O-line. If they can get the O-line right,
that's true.
I think what you're saying, that pairing of receiver will be just fine for his development.
Right.
We need to you need the O-line to be able to allow Justin to succeed in how Justin exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You give Justin time, it's a whole different ballgame.
That's true. Well,
if he starts getting comfortable back there, you just need guys that run routes and get open.
Right.
He'll get the ball there. We saw it, Jared. His college stuff, hit the touch. He's accurate.
We saw it in person at Pittsburgh on the crossing route to Mooney. That's not an easy pass. On the run to his left, throws the ball with his right, left. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
and when things break down, yes, he can produce there too. But you don't want things breaking down every freaking play.
No, absolutely not. Which was happening. You know,
get that O-line right, and I think things will start falling into place, man.
Give him a half a second longer. That's all you need. 0.5, and you can get a line to give him a half a second. a lot of sacks and fumbles turn into big plays and touchdowns.
And that's why I'm fine with not signing the biggest name receiver at the highest price, because I'd rather see the money invested in the trenches, man. Like,
absolutely.
Well, I'd rather see it there than hand Christian Kirk 18 mil per year. That's for damn sure.
Man, what is Jacksonville doing?
Fuck it, I'll roll with Juju at that point. At least they got Brandon Sheriff. I mean, I do think that's a pretty quality signing.
Sure, that's the one position.
Side.
If I was going to overspend at it, that's where I would have overspent at for your quarterback.
I mean, they're trying to get their young guy going. The running back that he played with in college is coming back too, right?
Travis Eaton, and
Ian or whatever.
Yeah,
but yeah, they kind of
going about it a different way.
Anybody else surprised you in the free agency market so far?
Von Miller.
Yeah, that's a little rich for Von. But
the Buffalo fan base is excited, and I'm like, dude,
it's a big name. I think it's easy to get excited about. Here, Von Miller, and it's just coming off a Super Bowl.
You add Von to that defense, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That defense is pretty nasty. So,
well, I think Buffalo's in a position where they're thinking, this is their window right now. So you might as well, throw the money at it at that point. It's a way different situation than like a Jacksonville or us. I don't blame them for doing it. I do think they overpaid, but
the guy at Lexington College is O.J. Howard. I know he hasn't really broken out yet, but it's a guy to watch with Allen.
True.
Absolutely. I like what the Raiders have done too. I think you brought it up, Biscuits.
Yes.
Sneaky.
Yes.
And Pittsburgh too. Pittsburgh's done some sneaky things. Minus, they're still looking for a quarterback, I think. But
also, did anybody? Sorry, not to throw us off here, Jared, but Biscuits. Did anybody sign Washington yet?
No. So the tweet that I was referencing in the chat the other night was apparently from Des Bryant. He said he made that claim. And doing some research, apparently he has said this like 3 times now. Like last year, he said James Washington would be traded to the Cowboys. And when he was first coming out of Oklahoma State, he said James Washington to the Cowboys book it. So I guess it's like a running joke with him that he's always saying that. But no one has apparently signed him yet.
Okay, because that might that might be a good value guy. We're gonna need we got 2, so we're gonna need at least 4 more guys going into camp.
At least 4. I think we carried 9 going into camp.
Oh yeah,
you got to get to 90. What is it? 93 was the number we had going into camp last year, I believe.
Don't sleep on Daz Newsome either. Now,
who?
Daz Newsome.
Is he on the team?
And don't sleep on Charles Snowden either.
Boy. Okay, let's have a little fun with this. Charles Snowden is the mic.
No. If anything, you throw him over at Sam. Throw him at Sam. He plays the Hunter Hillenmeyer type role.
It's a pretty lengthy dude that is a pretty good pass. Out of college, he's pretty good in dropping back too. That's interesting.
Lucky play him in big nickel then. Let him be the big nickel.
That's a big motherfucking nickel.
You were all over that for fucking months about playing him.
I know, but he's like, isn't he like 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah, I think he's 6'5", I believe.
Yeah, so putting him in the middle might be interesting. I don't know if he's going to be there yet, but to develop him for that, yeah.
I can see the smile on your face just me saying it. You're like, the vibe. It's the same thing we've been looking. It's the Urlacher vibe. The big guy.
I'm not going to go there with him.
He's not going to go that fast, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There you go. Just tickled the taint a little bit on you.
What's your guys' vibe right now? I almost feel like rejuvenated that we're moving past what didn't work. Yes, it sucks to see some of these guys go, but at the same time, these are the guys some of these guys that aren't going to be here anymore. The guys we constantly complained about.
I'm torn. I think you kind of summed it up best. There's some guys who have left. That's like for me, Danny T leaving.
He was toast.
Hurt 100%. He was toast. He was done. Unfortunately, that one hurts more than Mac or Hicks for me personally.
Really?
Danny
was
Low
When he
key,
was
Danny was
good.
like my favorite player on the team. I love Danny. But it was the right move. Go ahead and cut bait now. And I hope they don't. I haven't seen, but I hope they don't post June 1 it. You might as well just eat that dead cap this year and save your cap space for next year if you're really not going to be making moves this offseason. Eat the cap this year. So part of me is kind of hurt that some of these guys have left, but I do think if you accept reality that this had to be more of a full-scale rebuild than what we all wanted to admit. And we're going to be terrible this year, but hopefully it pays.
Oh, no. If you're terrible,
oh, no,
that means you don't believe in Justin Fields and his talent.
And what was the example you provided today, Jared? Because I think you nailed it there.
I nailed him to the wall on it. The 2020 Houston Texans with Deshaun Watson. You can have all the talent in the world at that QB spot.
And get production out of that
and
spot.
get great production and still suck.
Yeah. It's a perfect example. And they also had better wide receivers than they had Hopkins and Fuller that year.
Yes. I mean, it's a realistic look. You can have a realistic view of this team.
I mean, if he just blows up this year, yeah, you have a top quarterback. You're in it. So I don't know.
In terms of what?
If he ends up, if for some reason everything clicks, of course you can be competitive.
Well, yeah, you can be competitive, but sometimes being competitive is not getting wins. You can be competitive and still lose consistently because you have deficiencies on the defensive side of the ball. You don't have your corner. Artie Burns gets signed, by the way, not a huge name, but Artie Burns is gone. You know, because you don't have your other safety yet that you've had to piece together with a low end, patchwork team.
Yeah, this defense isn't hard to pick up. It's just it can be physically hard to play in.
Yeah, that's what he said. Thanks, Coach Flus.
But if they, I think it's too early to start talking about. Yes, do I expect 9-8 would be awesome? 8-9,
9-8 would be spectacular.
Yeah, I'm not expecting huge results this year, but like it's way too early because there's so much to still see how this whole thing plays out with the roster.
That's 100% true. Yeah, and if you said 2020 Houston was losing games 41-35, that's true.
Yeah, that's true, but they were losing. They weren't winning games.
Well, no, I think he's supporting your argument that you can get that great quarterback production, but you're still going to be but I also don't think that this defense is 2020 Texans bad. I mean, you look at the Colts defense last year, the talent across the board there. Would you say we currently have more or less talent than they did? I would say more. Based on things
the Colts from last year?
On defense, yes.
Less.
Do you think we have less talent right now than the Colts did on defense last year?
They had it in 3 levels consistently. Rock Yassim,
who they traded away for Yannick Ngakoue. So that told you about Rock Yassin, how much they really liked him. So yeah, they had Darius Leonard. We got Roquan Smith. The Forrest Buckner, 100%. Robert Quinn. I don't think any of their corners played as well as Jalen did this past year. Their safety group was definitely better than ours. But what I guess the point that I'm getting at is it's at least close, even if
it's closer than you think.
And he got way more out of that defense than I think a lot of other guys would have. So
I think you're also going to see some of those indie guys trickle in.
Yeah.
Muhammad, that's one guy that they said keep an eye on.
Yeah.
I think, did Bigsy put that out?
I mean, we put that out like weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but Bigsy also put it out to confirm that every once in a while we know what the fuck we're talking about.
I don't need confirmation from that sick bastard Biggs.
I would have seen Anthony
That's
Walker.
A cheeky comment.
But Anthony Walker, I think, signed with somebody else already. He would have been a nice pickup.
So we kind of hit around Honey Badger, right?
Yeah.
Is there any other safety? Yeah, are there any other safeties out there that can play opposite Eddie?
There's one guy, if he can still play. I know Diddy's a fan. Maybe.
Who's that?
Alabama boy played next to Eddie.
Did he sign?
Collins?
Yeah, he was officially released today by the Commanders. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Landon Collins.
Yep. I would, if you're not gonna have to give him the bag, yeah.
You know.
That market's kind of settled too a little bit, so I think Poles is doing the right thing by playing it patiently, even though we're fans and we're not patient.
Especially Bears fans. Yep.
I've been impatient with it too. I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, like, at first,
we catch ourselves.
Yeah.
It's okay to be fanatical.
I'm at the point of acceptance of the suckage. Pause. I just know we're not going to be very good this year, and I'm okay with that. Again, like I said last year, for me, it's more about the development of Justin. So if we can fix things up front, get Justin to really start rocking and maximizing the talent that he does have, I'd feel a lot better going into next season with $120-some million and 10 or 11 draft picks already for next year. I'd feel pretty damn good about that.
I'd also like to get a backup in here that can run the offense the same way.
Giants,
there's there. Tyrod Taylor would have been perfect here.
100%.
Even like, and I know he's not like a world beater, but I'd rather have Mariota than Foles. Honestly, because at least he's able to get things outside of the pocket. Right. You can still run something similar. You're not gonna have the arm talent, but
it's a run heavy team in Indy too, though. They had good running back play. You can still do that here. I mean, Nick Foles still knows how to hand it off. And if your offensive line's winning consistently, just run a guy to death.
As the backup. It's a good value now at this point, but
yeah. I don't have a problem with it, but like
you are changing your offense to a degree with Nick Foles, and I do think
he's no Tyler Bray.
Damn fucking right. Weapon X. That's who we need back.
So I'll let you shoot your shot, Biscuits. You're really happy about your boy Brady coming out of retirement.
I hate that motherfucker.
Y'all thought he was done. Just a matter of time. Giselle put a list out of to-dos, and he said, fuck that. I am coming back. And despite your personal feelings against Tom, your Lord and Savior, Tom.
Not mine.
He's better. It's better for the NFL with Tom Brady slinging that rock.
Well, it's going to cost him.
And it over the last month, I think we've seen the NFC has really thinned out. Besides the Rams and Packers.
That's why he came back.
After the Russell trade, I 100% think that played a part in him coming back. So for me, I look at it as, Aaron Rodgers comes back. Well, now you still have to go through Tom. It's again the break glass in case of emergency, because I do not want to see Rodgers walk away with another fucking ring.
Unless Deshaun goes to Atlanta.
So
49ers, I would give you that, Jared. Atlanta, I don't know.
Well, so what does Atlanta do with that with Matt Ryan's contract at that point, though? He's got
to trade him.
It's a killer dead cap hit, though.
A huge dead cap hit.
Yeah, like
I think it's like 40. I think it's 40 million dead cap hit.
Brutal.
Yeah, that's I was surprised
they're in on it. They're in on it and have met the requirements for the trade to Houston. So
yeah, 49ers would be a problem for everybody if they got Watson.
Absolutely.
Do they want to delay the Trey Lance era, though?
Lance would probably be in that deal, I would assume. I don't think it's realistic.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're probably right. Our glute massage is illegal in ATL, Yakub says.
We'll have to consult Brad Biggs about that.
God, Brad. Yeah, it is. It's a $40.5 million dead cap hit this year for Matty Ice. So
Damn.
you're basically punting on this year to get Watson in here for the future. And I guess maybe it's a.
And you have him under contract for 4 years?
Yes, it might not be a bad sacrifice, but still, that's a. I mean, you're going to have potentially what, $65 million tied up between Watson and Matt Ryan?
Does Trey Lance suck?
Oh, we don't know that yet.
It's way too early.
Yakub Lance's Jordan Love 2.0.
Why would there be rumors about San Francisco if Trey Lance was good?
Rumors about what?
About wanting to trading the quarterbacks
coming in. Well, do you want the sure thing that's proven to be a top tier quarterback, or do you want to roll the dice on potential?
Oh God, let's just. I mean, what if Watson wanted to come here?
There we go.
I'm serious, man. Like you get a guy like that. That's already arrived. You don't take that. Like of course, San Francisco is going to take that call. Can you imagine Watson and Shanahan? My fucking God. Like
that would be dirty.
You got a guy that you're projecting to be good.
I mean,
but you got a guy that you know is already elite in the league.
Thing.
You don't fuck around with that. I'm sorry. Like, I mean,
so
we almost had Russell Wilson.
So you're okay. You're okay with the butthole massaging, though.
That dude, I'm not even touching that subject because it's not even. Honestly, I don't think it's like
not touching that subject. No,
I'm not.
Apparently, they didn't want to touch that subject either.
But the court case is just because of the way it landed. No, what I'm saying, it doesn't mean that shit didn't really go down. So I'm not even gonna entertain jokes on that shit. Like,
but you have to touch on it.
All right.
No, it's not even like. But if part of your decision-making process is bringing Watson in, that is part of the conversation. Do you want to deal with the PR or optics or the drama surrounding the team?
Oh, sure.
Of this alleged massage incident. That's going to be a big piece of whatever team brings them in.
Potentially,
you really have to
6-game suspension too. Most likely, from what everybody's been saying.
Yeah.
6 weeks for 4 years. Would you do it for Justin Fields straight up?
No.
Okay. Biscuits.
You wouldn't, maybe?
To put Justin to who are we going to have a quarterback for 6 weeks?
Nick Foles.
I'm surprised to hear you say that because I felt like maybe I don't want to out you here, but I thought a couple weeks ago you were all about that.
They're not outing me. I don't
that you would take the shirt.
You would take Watson over Fields. I'm just trying.
I don't know, man. You're not willing to touch massage conversations here, so I don't know what I can broach and what I can here.
It's you take if it was
Smile,
just a straight
laugh.
up. Yeah,
why so serious?
He comes right in and starts. You gonna let me talk?
No, I'm gonna continue to talk over you because Yakub's in the chat, and I know how much he loves that shit. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, I think if it was just straight up and he came in here and started, yeah, you do that. But you got me thinking with all the other shit. Like I don't know, because is there civil stuff that's going to come up? I don't know what's going on with it all. So I want to see Justin work more than anything. But like if it was between him and Deshaun, and Deshaun was going to come in and start right away, you taking Watson all day. I don't know what the league's going to come down with. That's a lot of money for not knowing what the league's going to come up with. They could, if they want to make an example, he could be out the whole year.
Sure.
You know? And you got to also factor in that there's an injury history there since college.
Yeah.
Like he does play reckless. He puts himself out there. So.
And he's got any injuries?
He does.
Two of them.
But the talent, man, my God.
Off the charts.
Sure.
And I think Justin has the potential to get there. So it's such a hard decision to really make. But
you know what's difficult about it is that
I wanted Watson here over Mitch.
Deshaun showed it. let's be honest. Deshaun showed it right out of the gate. Justin hasn't yet.
I think Deshaun was
On a
also
team-
in a very a more beneficial situation than Justin was.
Way
coming in
smarter
here.
offensive mind too.
Legit wide receivers, some semblance of an offensive line.
Allen Robinson coming off of 2,000-yard seasons is legit.
Oh,
Was
fuck that.
still not
He's
DeAndre
nowhere
Hopkins.
near that.
No,
Yeah, come
no,
on, man.
I'm not claiming that. It's a competent wide receiver.
Allen Robinson was force fed by a freaking incompetent quarterback because it was his binky. He was like,
You want to touch that one, Biscuits?
Yakub said, I'm not scared. Fuck yeah. Yakub, the tailgate show with the touchy subjects on the back half of the show. That is my meaningful input here. I am here to make everybody feel uncomfortable and talk about things they don't want to talk about.
That's a
Because
shitty thing.
I'm salty now at this point in my life, and I don't give a fuck.
But yeah,
No, to answer your question, Jared, 6 games for 4 years, 100%. I'd take Watson. I'd take the sure thing. I would do it. As much as I do believe in Justin, give me the sure thing. I'd take Watson in a heartbeat. And deal with the butthole jokes. That's fine.
there you go.
Jer?
Oh boy. Yeah, I'd take it.
yeah, you would.
I'd deal with it. I
Yeah,
think
you
I would. Yes.
Oh,
You needed the sound effect,
that
right?
was disgusting. Yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty nasty.
that was nasty.
You're welcome.
Yes. I think that was worse than anything that I said that Diddy got upset at me for.
Oh, I'm not upset, bro. You kidding me?
He's like, I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that.
I'm not
subject."
touching that comment right there. Nope.
Oh yeah, that doesn't mean I'm like legitimately upset. I just
Just
that can go
busting
down
your balls.
that can go down a weird path, especially with Jerry. You never know what the hell's gonna freaking.
For sure.
And that's why
I
I'm
was
here.
just breaking it up because I can, the escalation of things. And,
I'm also not marginalizing any potential victims out there. They're obviously serious allegations. Who knows if it's true or not? So I'm not trying to. Maybe I should not have been making light of the situation, but I did. So fucking deal with it, people.
I've seen actual feminists, straight up feminists, be like, "This is bullshit." So, but that doesn't mean anything. Anyway, I don't disagree with the statement you just made to cover our ass. Thank you, Biscuits.
And that is feminism talk.
There,
All right, so
can
Jared
we,
would do
can
it.
we
I
take
would do
our
it, but he's not sure.
can we take our victory lap now on
What?
you again?
On Diddy.
What was that you posted today, Diddy, that I shared with you? Bears select Manica to help plan NFL stadium.
Oh, you know what that is? That's all conjecture. It's all noise. That's what that is. That's called negotiation tactics, boys. They're trying to pressure the city. Of course, they're going to come out and say, "Oh yeah,
Bro,
We're
it's
hired-
happening.
where are they going to get the money from?" The real estate deal is still over a year away from closing. They sidestepped every single question about that and made it very awkward in that presser with Ted. 3, they still have not solved the biggest issue. Who's financing that thing?
The
Because the
Bears can
McCaskies
probably
can't
do
afford it.
I bet the Bears probably could.
Unless Arlington's going to heavily subsidize it, which from early talks, it didn't sound like Arlington was about that life. I don't know where they're getting that money from.
And the thing is too, like, hope Virginia recovers and everything, but we're hearing reports. I mean, there hasn't been a lot put out there that she's not well, and the side to that too is if something were to happen to her, the family, I guess, behind the scenes, there's a lot of
Turmoil.
tension, turmoil, whatever, and most likely, from what people were saying, that the team could potentially be up for sale at that point. Now, if you bring a big money person in here that has the opportunity to build their own stadium, that's a very good selling point. Like, I'm not only am I taking over an NFL franchise, but I have this property to do what I want with and build the stadium I want. Like, that's pretty enticing. So
That
And
I
you
can't
have a
disagree
part-
with. Valid point.
And a potential partnership deal with who? Bet Rivers.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
You've got money making money. And if you have a partnership deal with Bet Rivers, where do you think money could come from? Bet Rivers.
I can't with Yakub tonight, man. My God.
Yo, that I'm not even gonna
Yeah,
read that one thing
nope.
he said in there, but
Nope.
I am
Wow,
dying
bro.
on the inside. When I read that, I was like, "Oh my fuck, that is."
And that's why you should be in the chat, boys and girls. That's where it's at.
for real. Yakub coming with that heat.
Wow. All right. That one,
That's
I
an
will
all timer, man. That really is
that's
an all
pretty good.
timer. George
George
about to
about-
be real surprised.
real
Go ahead,
surprised.
Pony. Go ahead. Go ahead.
George about to be real surprised when Virginia passes the team's left a pace in the will. We're all about to be real surprised. The pool boy wins.
wow. Show's really going off
All
the
over.
rails tonight.
We said that
Jacksonville,
every
baby.
week for the last year.
Hopefully, we
No.
get some more news this week about some guys that get signed.
I mean, have
Yeah.
there been any since who the heck knows?
No.
Pulls
Hasn't
wears
been.
sunglasses at night.
Yo,
He
Yakub,
doesn't
has there been any signings?
mention-
Not
Hey,
named
yo.
Nassib.
Easy.
I didn't say anything. I did.
You know, that's a guy too that was coming.
Nah, nothing yet.
I thought maybe they would take a look at
Who's that?
Nassib. He had a year there, did he not? Not last year. He was
Did
down.
he?
He had 4 sacks.
He had 4 sacks, Jer.
He had 4 sacks. Awkward pause.
No, he had 1.5 sacks last year, 2.5 the year before that, and then 6 and 6.5 with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a guy that he can play. If he can play, he might
Yeah.
be a depth piece you can get cheap.
I mean, I also think we're going to see the Colts guys start coming in. Pause.
Right. I wonder how much they changed that defense since Flus leaves. I mean, you said your Rock Yassim's gone.
Correct. Traded for
I mean-
Yannick Ngakoue today. Rare player for player to trade.
I can't with this motherfucker. I just can't with this motherfucker right now.
Yeah, he's on one tonight.
He's got us
So,
all.
for those listening on the pod,
You really got to get in the chat
yeah,
sometime.
Yakub is our chat room comedian, and sometimes he hits us with things that kind of throw us off our game. So,
He is hitting them all.
It's funny.
yeah.
I used to be that. Now
But
it's
definitely-
Yakub taking over the mantle.
Fuck around, Yakub, and see where you end up.
so
Follow Yakub. See Yakub 713.
yeah, he's actually one of the best follows on Bears Twitter. I'm just saying,
Yeah, he's
but
fucking hilarious.
the things we're gonna start hearing more names, I'm sure, and hopefully they're the right pieces, man. I'm like I said, he pulls kept his word. Let's hope it all plays out, man, because I want to see this nasty that he wants on this team.
Yeah.
Even if the season record wise, whatever it is, if we see Justin starting to develop and these guys are fighting every snap, like think that's when things are going to start going in the right direction long term. That's what we want.
Wouldn't it be?
Go ahead.
Sorry, wouldn't it be something to see 3 or 4 linemen come over to your quarterback's aid instead of just one?
Yeah.
And then be like, oh, shit's about to get real now, huh?
Would
And
it be
not having one push your own lineman for defending your quarterback.
also it would be something to not see your quarterback on the ground so much.
Facts.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Love it.
I'm on board with that one.
You
No, I'm excited
Crazy
to see his draft strategy too. Is he how aggressive is he going to be? Is he going to take the pace approach of locking into one guy, trading up to go up and get him? Is he going to value draft capital more, moving back to acquire more picks? I was listening to a couple different people today, and they said there's so much value in the picks 50 to 100 this year. where you don't necessarily have to have those top end first round picks in order to get impact players right away out of the gate. So kind of made me feel a little bit better about it because what we have 3 picks in the 50 to 100 range, I believe. 3 or 4.
We've seen Kansas City move up when they find their guy.
True.
So,
but how much of that was Brett Veach? How much of that was... That's what I'm saying. Now, this is the first time he's run the show. I'm just curious to see what his approach is in the draft. And how he's going to build this.
Philly's moved around before too, so then that's where Ian's coming from. So, I mean, if you have like Olave available and you have to trade up just a couple spots, and you're probably gonna do that. Like, I wouldn't be mad about that. I hope he's there when we're picking. God, that would be awesome. It's not going to happen, but I'll probably go in the top 15. But anyway.
I think we nailed it tonight, boys. I think you guys did a great job. Good luck to your UConn Huskies.
All right. Good luck to Indiana unless they have to play my UConn Huskies.
There's a chance that the women might meet in the tournament, so
good luck.
Really?
Coastal.
Oh, you don't want the DJ?
No, I don't. I'm not stupid. I know the UConn.
Coastal, man. How's Coastal doing in the tournament, Biscuits?
I have no fucking idea. I don't even think we're in it. Don't think we're playing any meaningful games here lately. So
did you guys get in the NIT?
I'm such a terrible alum. I don't even fucking know, to be honest with you. I have no idea. I have watched 0 Coastal Carolina basketball this season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think UConn. I'll be happy if they get to the second round this year.
I've been watching too much Providence, to be honest with you.
Providence?
Just watching way too much Providence basketball.
I would
just
like
running the Big East this year.
Yeah, they ran it so much that they lost in the tournament. They got smoked in the tournament, by 25 points or more, and they avoided playing UConn a second time, and they played 2 less games than everybody else. So, congratulations on your regular season championship. Anyway.
Shout out, Patrick.
Yeah, he's been quiet about them, so I didn't even have to say anything.
Indiana make the tournament, Pony?
Yes, they did. And they had the play-in game, and they already got their dub. We get it.
There you go.
We got St. Mary's, I think, tomorrow, 7:20.
I should have gone, man, because UConn actually has a bus charter up to Buffalo for the tournament, and I got offered tickets from the university because I had season tickets. And I just didn't feel like going to Buffalo on a Thursday. I don't know. I'm watching at home.
Really?
It's very Buffalo-y.
Well, I'm not. I mean, married with kids, man. It's like up and leave. It's just not as flexible as
true
used to be. Now my single days, absolutely. Let's go. But
yeah, I guess I didn't think about that.
Yeah, you gotta take things into consideration when you got responsibilities, Biscuits.
Man, thank God I did not have that. So y'all drew New Mexico State first round.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably gonna smoke them.
I'll be rooting for both you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate
it.
I'd like to see both you guys meet up in the tournament.
That would be so dope.
That would be sick.
I wrote Brian. It's like when they got the 5, it's like, fuck. I hope we draw that 12. You talk about smack talk for days.
Are you all on the same side of the bracket?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
I want Providence. I want Purdue and Indiana. Let's go.
I want them all. I hope we get to play UConn. Because if we do, that means we're in the championship game, I think.
Oh, yeah. Cool. IU will beat St. Mary's. Book it. Damn. We got
They're playing good right now.
In the chat.
Yeah, you're cool. How's UConn going to do, buddy?
UConn's going to win, I believe.
You know he's going to
5-12 is always dangerous.
Yeah.
I use a dangerous 12.
It's a national championship IU versus UConn. You know what? I would be in full favor of that. That would be awesome.
Yeah, but UConn, like normally they start building momentum in the Big East tournament when they get hot. Like they're not there. They'd have to get super fucking hot to like go on a run here. I don't know if they don't have a Kemba to do that. So I don't know, man. I think just a couple wins, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Right, boys.
Is
So
there
that's
like
basketball
some
talk.
outro music going on right now?
Yes, we have outro music. The
Sounded
production
like
quality is getting better.
sounded like a porno outro type music.
That's
there.
what's up. Well, that kind of fits with the chat tonight. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't watch that stuff. I gave up fleshly desires years ago.
Right.
Oh.
I'm built different.
Oh.
Yeah, you are. Your hand is for sure. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right. Anything
I think
else?
that's
that's
boys?
it. No, I
Well,
think we're just gonna close it out of that, guys. Thank you
Yeah.
for everybody listening. Yakub, you're the man in the chat, bro. Thank you. You bring
Love
it.
Yakub!
Downloads have been up, so I appreciate everybody listening and just enjoying what we're doing. And we're just having fun doing it. Just fans.
It's not the
nothing
only
more.
thing that's up.
And OnlyFans will be coming out soon for
Oh, yeah.
the show. So maybe patronize. We'll do the patronize app where you can pay to patronize us.
Oh, boy.
That's just another episode of The Tailgate Show.
Duh, Ogunjobi.
3 Agency Frenzy.
Brady's back! Brady's back!
What the heck is that, Jerry?
Oh,
My
God.
God, that's so